Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the One Bible 1 Year. Today is day 12 or episode 12, whatever you want to think. Today we are reading Genesis chapter 34, 35, and 36. I'm going to go a little bit quick with this. So as you can tell, after every chapter I'm going to change the image on the screen. I'm not going to be showing my face because it just saves a little bit more time. Anyways, let's get straight into it. Chapter 34. One day, Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and Leah went to visit some of the young women who lived in the area. When the local prince Shechem, son of Amor the Hivite, saw Dinah, he seized her and raped her. But then he fell in love with her, and he tried to win her affection with tender words. He said to his father Amor, get this young girl to marry me, or get me this young girl. I want to marry her. Soon Jacob heard that Shemech had defied his daughter Dinah. But since his sons were out in the fields herding his livestock, he said nothing until he returned. Amor, Shemech's father, came to discuss the matter with Jacob. Meanwhile, Jacob's sons had come from the field as soon as they heard what had happened. They were shocked and furious, and that their sister had been raped. Shechem had done a disgraceful thing against Jacob's family, something that should never be done. Hamor tried to speak with Jacob and his sons. My son Shemach is truly in love with your daughter, he said. Please let him marry her. In fact, let's arrange our other marriages too. You give us your daughters for your sons, and we will give you our daughters for your sons, and you may live among us. The land is open to you. Settle here and trade with us, and feel free to buy property in the area. Then Shemech himself spoke to Dinah's father and brothers. Please be kind to me and let me marry her, he begged. I will give you whatever you ask, no matter what dowry or gift you demand. I will gladly pay it. Just give me the girl as my wife. But since Shemech had defiled their sister Dinah, Jacob's sons responded deceitfully to Shemech and his father Hamor. They said to them, We couldn't possibly allow this because you're not circumcised. It would be a disgrace for our sister to marry a man like you. But here is a solution. If every man among you will be circumcised like we are, then we will give you our daughters, and we will take your daughters for ourselves. We will live among you and become one people. But if you don't agree to be circumcised, we will take her and be on our way. Amor and his son Shemech agreed to their proposal. Shemech wasted no time in acting on this respect, for he wanted Jacob's daughter desperately. Shemech was a highly respected member of his family, and he went with his father, Amor, to present this proposal to the leaders of the town gate. These men are our friends, they said. Let's invite them to live here among us and trade freely. Look, the land is large enough to hold them. We can take their daughters as wives and let them marry ours. But they will consider staying here and becoming one people with us only if all of our men are circumcised just as they are. But if we don't do this, all their livestock and possessions will eventually be ours. But if we do this, all their livestock and possessions will eventually be ours. Come, let's agree to their terms and let them settle here among us. So all the men in the town council agreed with Amor and Shemech, and every male in the town was circumcised. But 3 days later, when their wounds were still sore, two of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, were Dinah's full brothers, took their swords and entered the town without opposition. Then they slaughtered every male there, including Amor and his son Shemek. They killed them with their swords, then took Dinah from Shemek's house and returned to their camp. Meanwhile, the rest of Jacob's sons arrived, finding the men slaughtered. They plundered the town because their sister had been defiled there. They seized all the flocks and herds and donkeys, everything they could lay their hands on, both inside the town and outside in the fields. They looted all their wealth and plundered their house. They also took all their little children and wives and led them away as captives. Afterwards Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You have ruined me. You've made me stink among all the people of this land, among all the Canaanites and Perizzites. We are so few that they will join forces and crush us. I will be ruined, and my entire household will be wiped out. But why should we let him treat our sister like a prostitute?" they retorted angrily. Chapter 35. Then God said to Jacob, "Get ready and move to Bethel and settle there. Build an altar there to the God who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau." So Jacob told everyone in his household, "Get rid of all your pagan idols, purify yourselves, and put on clean clothing. We are now going to Bethel, where I will build an altar to the God who answered my prayers when I was in distress. He said, He has been with me wherever I have gone." So they gave Jacob all their pagan idols and earrings, and he buried them under the great tree near Shechem. As they set out, a terror of God spread over the people in all the towns of that area, so no one attacked Jacob's family. Eventually Jacob and his household arrived at Luz, also called Bethel, in Canaan. Jacob built an altar there and named the place El Bethel, which means God of Bethel, because God had appeared to him there when he was fleeing from his brother Esau. Soon, sorry, sorry. Soon after Rebekah's old nurse, Deborah, died, she was buried beneath the oak tree in the valley below Bethel. Ever since the tree has been called Allon Bacuth, which means oak of weeping. Now that Jacob had returned from Paddan Aram, God appeared to him again at Bethel. God blessed him, saying, "Your name is Jacob, but you will not be called Jacob any longer. From now on, your name will be Israel." So God renamed him Israel. But God said, "I am El Shaddai, God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. You will become a great nation. Even many kings will be among your descendants, and I will give you the land I once gave to Abraham and Isaac. Yes, I will give it to you and your descendants after you." Then God went up from the place where he had spoke to Jacob. Jacob set up a stone pillar to mark the place where God had spoken to him. Then he poured wine over it as an offering to God and anointed the pillar with olive oil. And Jacob named the place Bethel, which means house of God, because God had spoken to him there. Leaving Bethel, Jacob and his clan moved on towards Euphrath, but Rachel went into labor while they were still some distance away. Her labor pains were intense. After a very hard delivery, the midwife finally exclaimed, "Don't be afraid, you have another son." Rachel was about to die, but with her last breath she named the baby Benoin, which means son of my sorrow. The baby's father, however, called him Benjamin, which means son of my right hand. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Euphrath. That is Bethlehem. Jacob set up a stone monument over Rachel's grave, and it can be seen there to this day. Then Jacob traveled on and camped beyond Migdal Eder, where he was living there. Reuben had intercourse with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Jacob soon heard about it. These are the names of the 12 sons of Jacob. The sons of Leah were Reuben, Jacob's oldest son, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel were Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah was Rachel's servant, were Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Jalpha, Leah's servant, were Gad and Asher, and these are the names of the sons who were born to Jacob at Paddan Aram. So Jacob returned to his father Isaac in Mamre, which is near Kiriath Arab, now called Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had both lived as foreigners. Isaac lived for 180 years. Then he breathed his last breath and died at a ripe old age, joining his ancestors in death, and his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Chapter 36. The descendants of Esau. This is the account of the descendants of Esau, known as Edom. Esau married 2 young women from Canaan, Adah and the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Oholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the granddaughter of Zebeon the Hivite. He also married his cousin Basemath, who was the daughter of Ishmael, and the sister of Nebaioth. Adah gave birth to a son named Eliphaz for Esau. Basemath gave birth to a son named Reuel. Obiladam gave birth to sons named Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. All these sons were born to Esau in the land of Canaan. Esau took his wives, his children, and his entire household, along with his livestock, cattle, all the wealth he had acquired in the land of Canaan, and moved away from his brother Jacob. There was not enough land to support them both because of all the livestock and possessions they had acquired. So Esau, also known as Edom, settled in the hill country of Seir. This is the account of Esau's descendants, the Edomites, who lived in the hill country of Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Esau's wife Adah, and Reuel, the son of Esau's wife Basemath. The descendants of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. Teman, the concubine of Esau's son Eliphaz, gave birth to a son named Amalek. These are the descendants of Esau's wife Adah. The descendants of Reuel were Nahath, Zerah, Sama, and Mizah. These are the descendants of Esau's wife Basemath. Esau also had sons through Oholibamah, the daughter of Anah and granddaughter of Zebeon. Their names were Jeush and Jalam and Korah. These are the descendants of Esau who became the leaders of various clans. The descendants of Esau's oldest son Eliphaz became the leaders of the clans of Teman, Omar, Zepho, Kenaz, Korah, Gatam, and Hamablek. These are the clan leaders in the land of Edom who descended from Eliphaz. All these were descendants of Esau's wife Adah. The descendants of Esau's son Reuel became the leaders of the clans of Naath, Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. These are the clan leaders in the land of Edom who descended from Reuel. These were descendants of Esau's wife Basemath. The descendants of Esau and his wife Obimlah became the leaders of the clans of Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the clan leaders who descended from Esau's wife Oholibamah, the daughter of Anah. These are the clans descended from Esau, also known as Edom, identified by their clan leaders. These are the names of the tribes and descendants from Seir and the Horite. They lived in the land of Edom. Lotan, Shobal, Zebion, Anah, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. There's Dishon and Dishan. These were the Harite clan leaders, the descendants of Seir, who lived in the land of Edom. The descendants of Lotan were Hori and Heman. Lotan also had a sister named Timnah. The descendants of Shobal were Alvan, Manahath, Ebal, Shepho, and Onam. The descendants of Zebion were Aya and Anna. This is the Anna who discovered the hot springs in the wilderness while he was grazing his father's donkeys. The descendants of Anna were his son Dishon and his daughter Omablana. The descendants of Dishon were Hemdan, Eshban, Ithran, and Karen. The descendants of Ezer were Bilhan, Zavan, and Akan. The descendants of Dishan were Uz and Aran. So these were the leaders of Harite clans: Lotan, Shobal, Zebion, Anah, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. The Harite clans are named after their clan leaders who lived in the land of Seir. These are the kings who ruled in the land of Edom before a king ruled over the Israelites. Belason of Beor, who ruled in Edom for the city of Dinhabah. After Bela died, Jobab, son of Zerah from Bozar, became the king in his place. After Jobab died, Hushman from the land of the Tamites became king in his place. After Hushman died, Hadam, son of Bedad, became king in his place and ruled from the city of Avith. He was the one who defeated the Midianites in the land of Moab. After Hadad died, Samlah from the city of Masrekah became the king in his place. After Samlah died, Saul from the city of Rehoboth on the river became king in his place. After Saul died, Balhanan, son of Akbor, became king in his place. After Balahan, son of Akbor, died, Hadad became king in his place and ruled for the city of Paul. Hadad's wife was Mehetabel, the daughter of Madred, the granddaughter of Mezab. These are the names of the leaders of the clans descended from Esau, who lived in the places named for them: Timan, Alva, Jetheth, Oholibamah, Ellen, Pinon, Kenez, Teman. So there's T-Man and then Teman. One's with an I and one's with an E. Mibzar, Magdiel, and Iram. These are the leaders of the clans of Edom listed according to their settlements in the land they occupied. They all descended from Esau, the ancestor of the Edomites. And that's it for chapter 36. So it was a little bit longer today, probably like 25, 26 minutes, something like that. But I also wanted to talk about just kind of something that I learned from doing this. There's a lot of descendants talking about, because when I was like, I guess like younger and not Christian for a long time, I used to think that I knew there's the descendants, but I thought it was only like once every book. So like once in Genesis, once in Numbers or Exodus and things like that. So that's something that I've kind of learned. I don't know about you guys. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit. That there's a lot of that, I guess, talk about the descendants and things like that. But I'm just gonna end it off here, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.